Hello everybody, welcome to this tutorial on setting up a minimal cost dbt Snowflake project. If you're a data engineer or someone interested in ETL pipelines, this video is for you. In this tutorial, I'll guide you step by step on how to build a teeny cost-effective dbt Snowflake project inside VS Code, all while keeping cost below $1. So let's go toward what you will learn in this video. You will learn how to set up dbt in Python virtual environment, how to connect dbt to Snowflake using a free tier account, how to create a small ETL pipeline with just 10 rows of data, how to run transformation in dbt and minimize cost. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have a fully working dbt project inside VS Code, using best practices to ensure that your Snowflake cost remains zero, almost zero. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you find this helpful. Let's get started. Let's start by opening VS Code, which is a highly available, highly used software for development projects. And let's open terminal and run this command. Once again. Okay. So I'm already inside a folder named dbt2. What you need to do, you need to make a folder inside here. You can write make dir dbt Snowflake project. Okay, so this will be our folder for Snowflake project, and then you can change directory to dbt Snowflake project. Alright, now inside here what we need to do, we need to create one Python virtual environment. So how can we do that? We just need to write maybe you need to write Python, you need to check that, or maybe you need to write py, but in my case I need to write Python 3. You have to check that. All right, virtual environment, I'll give you the same name. Okay, it's created now. So after you have created the virtual environment, what we need to do, we need to activate this virtual environment. There's two ways actually. So to activate the virtual environment in Windows, what you need to do, you need to go inside this folder which you created, and then you need to write something like this, and then press enter. But I'm working on Mac, so for Mac, those who are using Mac, they will write this. So here the only difference is in Mac it is bin instead of a script. All right. Okay, so the virtual environment is activated. Wonderful. Let's go forward. Now that the virtual environment is created, we need to install all the dependencies which we need, right? So what we need to install, we need to install this dbt Snowflake inside the virtual environment. So we'll write pip install dbt Snowflake. All right. Now that this is done, we need to create .dbt folder in the home folder. How you can do that? You can write m like this, and then tilde, and then /.dbt. Press enter. So in my system it's already exists. Okay, then what you can do, you can write touch tilde /.dbt /profiles.ym. So this is done, right? Touch here is actually used to create an empty file named profile.yml. Now that profile.yml is created, you need to open that profile.yml. So you cannot open from here. You need to go into your home folder, and then inside dbt, inside profile.yml, you need to go there and type something. I'll show you what. So open your Finder and go to go to home, and then here do command shift dot, this will show you the hidden folder, and then open to file.yml. Open it, and here you go. Actually I already created, this is all from a different project. I'll tell you what you need to write right now. You need to write this, and I'll tell you more thing now. Now you have to replace your Snowflake account, which is this one, which is this one. Your Snowflake account, you have to replace that with the actual your Snowflake account name, and then you have to replace username with your Snowflake username and your password. All these are understandable, right? And then you have to give the database name, warehouse, whether your warehouse name and the schema, all these things. Okay. Now that this is done, remember while you put your values here, do not put those values in quote. Okay, just paste them directly. Your account name that you will be able to find uh, uh, near your profile ID and everything else, just like that. Now that this is done, let's initialize the dbt project, right? So let's see how we can do that. It's a pretty straightforward process. You can just write dbt init dbt snow dbt Snowflake project. Okay, so now it's asking which database you need to use. So for this project we'll use Snowflake, right? You press 1 and enter. Now it's asking for account. We've already put in the YML file, but actually I had a Snowflake connector installed, that is why it's asking again. Okay, let's now change the folder. Let's write cd dbt Snowflake project. Okay, so we are inside this folder. Now we'll try to create a simple ETL pipeline. Okay, let's make a directory for data. We have all these columns, all this. See, this is the folder we are inside. This is the virtual environment, and we have all this folder. It's like a skeleton structure. So let's make a directory inside it. We have data there. Let's make a new file here, customer.csv. Let's paste some data here. Okay, let's rename it to raw customer. Okay, so now the next step would be to go into model, and you can avoid the examples, and you can inside the model you can write sources dot yml, right? Here you need to write version 2. So version 2 is the current standard for defining sources, models, and test. Now what is sources? This defines the source data that is not already data that are already existing in Snowflake actually. Now name, we'll give it a name. So this is a logical name given to a source group. Okay, it helps in organizing multiple tables under one category. So give it raw data. Inside here we'll put database. Now this database tells dbt that the data exists in Snowflake database. uh, right, we'll just give it the name on Snowflake. My database name is test project, so I'll give that name. Just tell dbt that the data is present in this database. After that, I need to put a schema. So as of now, my schema is public, and then I need to put tables. And then I need to put name. So try understand this. This refers to a table name inside test project dot public dot custom raw customer, something like that. Okay. This is the table name. All right, this is done. So this is actually needed, like referencing raw tables inside dbt model using sources, right? So once we define tables here, we can reference it inside dbt models, right? Once this file is creating, running dbt run will ensure that dbt knows the raw data sources. You know the sources, right? This is why it is important. Now let's try to load the data we have locally, right? So all you need to do, go into Snowflake and do this, browse it. So where was it? It was in our folder dbt2, right? Okay, let's go there. And it's inside data, right? Okay, so we'll select the database. This one is our database, this is our schema. We've selected it. We'll create a new table. Okay, we'll give it a name. I think you already know what's the name gonna be. It's gonna be raw customer as we defined in sources, right? So we'll just give it name raw customer. Then we'll do next, and yeah, the file is here, and let's see what happens. Okay, so it automatically takes some schema. I think that's fine. We load it. So this is loaded on Snowflake. Now let's go to our worksheet and try to see if this is there. See, it's showing here, right? It's a small file. I've kept it small so that if you follow along, you don't have to incur a lot of charges. Let's go ahead. Now that this is done, we'll try to write some transformation, right? So inside model, we will create a folder transform, and then we will write customers.sql, and inside that we'll write some query. Let's try this. Let's create a new folder. And inside this transform, create a new file named customers.sql. Now let's write this. Select customer ID, comma name, comma age, comma case, when age is smaller than 30, then yeah, else adult, and as age group from. Now we are referencing sources which we defined earlier. Source, we'll give the table name raw data, comma raw customers. So as you see, raw data was the name of this group and raw customers was the name of the table. Let's save this file and let's run dbt run. Okay, we are facing some issues. Let's see what the issue is. Okay, one issue I found is that sources has a wrong spelling. Let's try to fix this and see if this works. Still throwing some issue. Okay, so we didn't put space here. I put the space here, but now again there's some issue. Let's see what the issue is. Okay, so there's one more issue. This indentation issue should be like this. Now let's run it again and see. Okay, what it's saying. Okay, so it did make the connection successfully. I saw there was one issue in the profile.yml file. So actually the issue was that in between the account name there was a full stop. You need to replace that full stop with a hyphen. Okay, so now that it ran, let's go and query on Snowflake and see what is there. Let's see this table. What is our table for data? Let's query this table. Let's run this. Okay, so there was one issue. It was not materialized. So you have to also put this materialized as view. Although it ran properly, there was this issue. Let's see if it does produce something now. Let's go on Snowflake and see. Okay, so we do have this new customers, which was the customer.sql file name, right? Let's try running this. Let's see what we get. Okay, we are getting the last this as well. So I think our project was a success. So this was it. We made a transformation and we added another this. You can materialize it as different thing. You can materialize it as table as well. Now that the project is completed, you can drop the tables, right? This is drop, and let's drop this view as well. Well, let's check if it is dropped or not. Okay, these were also materialized. This is mentioned in there from maybe my last project, or yeah, something like this was here, right? Examples and something like this, right? From there in this one. Let's drop them also. Okay, now I think it should be fine. This something here, right? Okay, so this is done. So what we did in this project, we loaded a CSV file in Snowflake. We transform it, categorize customer based on age. We store the transform data in Snowflake with minimum cost, right? So done. Now you have a working dbt ETL pipeline for Snowflake inside VS Code with almost zero cost.